Hi. Hello, my name is Sarah, and I'm a mom. I live in Tacoma with my husband, Auguste, and our two sons. Malik is 12, and Jack is 2. And like so many parents, I want to do this right. I want to be present, I want to create magic, and I want to be a good mom. But a few years ago, during Jack's first year of life, I was barely holding it together. I'd gone back to work 2 months after he was born. It was long hours, late nights. I'd often leave before he was awake, and I'd come home long after bedtime. So I was exhausted, I was stretched thin, and I was quietly unraveling. I was dealing with postpartum depression and anxiety, and the tools that I had always used to push through just stopped working. Some days, even the smallest tasks like writing an email, making a plan, felt impossible. And then by complete accident, we found Play to Learn. Actually, my mom did. She was visiting, and she took Jack for a walk in our Salishan neighborhood. She was gone longer than expected, and I was panicked. I was calling, I was driving around, I was spiraling. You see, my mother has frontotemporal dementia, or FTD. So she has a condition that's made our time together feel really fragile, but sacred. It's deepened our resolve to be fully present with one another. But yes, it does carry the weight of constant vigilance, because any moment could turn uncertain, and my child could be lost at the hands of someone I loved. But after what seemed like a lifetime, she walked back into our house, calm as can be, and said, "I found something amazing." She said, "The kind people just invited us in." Thankfully, inside was color and music and toys and other caregivers and facilitators who smiled at her and said, "You are welcome here." No registration, no payment, no explanation required. When I went back the following week myself, something shifted. There was structure, songs, routines, gentle transitions, but there was also whimsy and joy and mess and a kind of intentional play that felt deeply grounding. And it acknowledged the capabilities of every single person in that room. And for the first time in a long time, I felt my shoulders drop. I felt a deep exhale. Nothing was being asked of me except to show up with my child. And that was enough. Play to Learn became an anchor. It became an anchor during one of the most unstable periods of my life, when I eventually left my job without a plan. Our finances changed overnight. My identity shifted. The shame crept in. I questioned my worth. I questioned my decision. And I questioned myself as a parent. Traditional preschool was not an option for us. And emotionally, admittedly, I didn't have the capacity to navigate complicated systems, an application, commitments. But every Wednesday, there was a place I knew I could go. There was a place in my neighborhood that I could walk in, a place that didn't ask me to prove anything, a place where I could arrive late, disheveled, in leggings, on my absolute worst day, and I would still be met with kindness and true, palpable authenticity. And that consistency mattered more than words can express. For Jack, Play to Learn supported his growth. Language, confidence, social skills. He learned songs and shapes and how to share space. He learned how to navigate big feelings, but he learned that a community existed. Play to Learn has been a constant in Jack's early development and as my growth as a mother. when I was working late nights and long hours in Seattle, I was worried I was missing out on key moments of my son's life. Play to Learn was a place where we could have quality, enriching time to bond together, and I could gain tangible tools to support him before I'd have to head back to work at night. But later, when I made the choice to resign, to focus on my family and health, Play to Learn became a haven. For me, it provided structure, community, and support for our family during a transitional period as I was looking to what's next. And for me, well, it helped me come back to myself. Healing didn't happen all at once. It looked like small wins, showing up a little closer to the start time, singing along, saying hello to another caregiver, and then becoming the person who would look at someone else new walking through the door, and I could say, come on in, you're in the right place, come inside, come play. So I realized one day that Play to Learn hadn't just supported my child. It had given me a foundation, a launch pad, and a way back to believing that I was a good mom. And what made that possible was access. Access. No financial barrier, no long-term commitment, no shame. And at a time when my brain was lying to me, telling me that I didn't belong, that I was failing, there was an inclusion statement right on the wall. And more importantly, there were people, the Play to Learn facilitators, who lived it. That's what Green Trike does. It doesn't just create programs, it creates conditions where families and children thrive. For me, it was a space I needed to heal, because when caregivers are supported, children thrive. And when families are met with dignity, our communities can grow stronger. What started as just a walk around the block became a doorway to a really meaningful life that I get to enjoy now here in Tacoma, where I finally feel rooted. Through Green Trike, I found not just Play to Learn, but libraries, parks, museums, real friendships, and a sense of belonging here in Pierce County that I didn't know I was missing. Now, I'm the mom at the playground telling all the other caregivers, have you heard of Play to Learn? You gotta check it out. I'm the person sharing resources and making connections, and it's a privilege to get to pay it forward. Green Trike was the helping hand that brought me out of my darkest times. And my life would be very different if my mom and Jack hadn't wandered into Play to Learn. I'm so grateful for that day. But this is just my story. It's one shared with countless kids and moms, fathers, caregivers, grandparents. It's one shared across our community. And that's the ripple effect. Green Trike isn't just changing individual lives, but it's quietly strengthening the fabric of our community. One family like mine, one child like Jack, and one caregiver like me at a time. Thank you.